Seek the Truth Paranormal Investigations.
Why don't you come talk to us? Do you still feel this is your home?
Saying something about hearing the word help a few times. I didn't catch. I heard something talk underneath him.
Tranquil Fox Hollow Farm near Westfield. Gruesome discovery. Human bones and fragments, first believed to have been what remained of 7 victims. Police now say there are 11.
Then last week, police unearthed the remains of 5 people on the Baumeister's grounds. The bones may have been in the woods for 16 months.
Police say they have one daunting task remaining, identifying the victims. Then they say that would close a sad and macabre serial murder case that spanned decades.
Mr. Baumeister's lawyer called the judge and asked to delay a divorce hearing. He couldn't find his client. Well, apparently Canadian police have, dead of an apparent suicide.
And everyone since that time has tried to distance themselves from the story to try to get the property value back up. But just things keep happening that lead us down this other path, which is to tell the story.
Very briefly, I saw someone in the woods, and it was just a person that looked like somebody walking through with a red shirt on.
And she said, well, he's gone. I said, well, where'd he go? And she said, well, I didn't tell you, but that's the second time I've seen it.
I was standing right outside these doors, looked over to the woods, and relatively young man walking away, and it was the same, looked like the same guy, had a red t-shirt on. He looked like he was going to walk into a tree, and then when I looked a little closer, he didn't have any legs. He disappeared, and he just sort of disappeared into the tree.
Herbert Baumeister is the Hamilton County businessman who committed suicide in 1996 after detectives dug up the remains of 7 men buried on his wooded estate. If investigators are right, Baumeister was a serial killer.
See all your board pictures of the way.
All right. Is this everyone?
This is
it. Has anyone been here before? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Only
then I
two
won't
newbies.
say
Only
that.
2 that.
Well,
you get the
then
rest.
I won't save the. Did anyone do any background or anything?
Just looked up a little bit online, that's it.
Okay, but you know the overall the story
Yeah.
about what happened here.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions about it?
Do you know the background of the house and everything? The story?
Yeah.
Okay.
like
Make
who
sure
her
to-
was,
yeah.
what, yeah, okay.
Oh, see, that cut your...
That's good. That's good. I don't want to bore you with it. So, I mean, I'll go through it if you want, but most of the killings probably took place in one of two places in the basement, either the pool or the bar room, off the pool area. Most of the activity in the house is in the pool room, or what we call the pump room, which is off the pool room. It's where the pool equipment is. And then the apartment, which we call the apartment, is it's actually the in-law quarters above the garage, where Joe, I don't know if you saw any of the TV shows, Joe, he doesn't live here anymore.
He was here last time.
He was here last time, yeah. Joe doesn't live here anymore, but that's where he lived, and that's where a lot of the activity took place. Does everyone need to be shown around again, or?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
It's been about a month since we've been here. Have they found any more bones digging over here?
You know, they're not looking. And frankly, I doubt if the people that bought those lots know anything about it.
That house got done quick.
Oh, they can put them up pretty fast.
It was just like framing the last time we was
Yeah,
here.
they seem to be pretty careful not to go. There's an area there, you know, on the west side of the fence that it's down about 30, 40 feet that they haven't done yet, and that's probably where. But so much time's gone by, you know, bones look like twigs, and the twigs look like bones. If you're not looking for it, you're probably not going to see it. Unless something a lot came up, but no.
If you didn't know where you were or the history of this place, even if you picked it up and thought it, you'd still think it was an animal bone or...
Yeah, and I doubt if any of the workers over there know where they are. And I'm sure
I mentioned Fox Isle to some people.
Well,
We heard about Fox Isle.
The one kind of misleading thing probably for these people buying these lots is, you know, even if they did know, they somehow think that everything happened within the confines of the fence, which is not true. Most of the intact bones were found on the west side of the fence, which is where they're building, but anyway. And then this is the master bedroom. There's his and her bathrooms on both sides. This was Herb's bathroom, which is my bathroom now. And this is the woman's side. I can show you when we go downstairs, but if anyone read the book, did anyone read the book?
Yeah,
I've seen
where the bodies are buried. Yeah. The skeleton that was found just that tree right there, just to the right of that tree. That's where the complete skeleton was found.
Okay.
So that's how close he was put into the house, and that's about as close as they got. One thing that's a little different than when Herb was here was the woods came up almost to the back of the house here. So that's been cleared out a lot. So it wasn't like you could stand here and see a skeleton because there was more woods. Yeah. But that's how close he was putting them. That's obviously the living room. Oh my God. There's another little half bath here. This is the kitchen. That addition that's out there was not here when Herb was here. That was added after before we got here, but we haven't finished it yet because we really don't need anything else to heat and air condition.
Right.
There's a bathroom you're welcome to use over here, right off this little half bath. This one right here. That's the laundry room. Don't go in there because there are cats in there. But there's a bathroom here, and then there's a bathroom downstairs, which.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it's warm because I keep it warm. I mean, it's almost 100 degrees, the pool. If you want to do any sort of, are you guys serious ghost hunting people? Or?
Yes.
I can turn off the pool pump That's what you're hearing,
Right.
and you'll be able to hear things maybe better. But that is the pump room down there.
Okay.
And that's where there seems to be a fair amount of activity.
No, when he supposedly, I know we don't know, he would kill him in there, but would he drag him out or?
Well, you know, he was into this erotic asphyxia.
Yeah.
And we get most of the information from the guy that got away, the guy Good.
Supposedly this is.
Yeah. So my real feeling is he killed him in the other room.
Okay.
But somehow the pool hose was involved with this strangulation thing, along with his hands. And the original pool hose is in there. But it's really hard to say, but it was definitely in one of these two rooms.
I was just wondering if we ever knew or what people had thought.
No, I mean, it was somewhere in these two rooms.
Yeah.
But they never, nothing upstairs, nothing like that.
No, you know, at least from what we can tell from his personality, he really separated kind of downstairs from upstairs. You know, upstairs was family, downstairs was this part.
My other question is that you mentioned last time something about the skulls, and the skulls have never been found. Is there any theory that that crawl space that is up in there?
You know, I mentioned that to the police, and the police said they never searched the crawl space or the attic, but it was out of his personality to do that.
Okay.
Because he probably wouldn't have risked leaving things like that in the house. You know, and when I asked the police why didn't you search it, of course they said, well, we found 99% of what we needed outside.
Mm-hmm.
They never found any personal items from the victims here. They did find at his other house down in Indianapolis, they found some, like a driver's license or something like that. But the skulls are out here somewhere. We don't know where. It's just too much ground to search. Frankly, nobody's beating down our door to do it. And if they turn up, I'm sure everyone will be excited and all that, but nobody's looking for them. I'm not looking for them. I mean, if they turn up and we plant a tree or something, then that's it. I honestly don't think about it that much unless
we're all here.
Because we've been here long enough now. I mean, this has gone on since we've been involved with this since 2005, maybe.
Right.
So, and mentally, I've kind of moved on, except when stuff
You have
happens.
to live here, right?
Well, stuff happens. Something happened to me that hadn't happened. Were you here when I told you what happened to me down here?
No,
I had never been very sensitive or open to these things, but I was touched in the pump room, and I've never been touched by it.
Okay.
And it was just, I was fiddling with the pump, and I felt just something brush my elbow, and I look up, and I never see it. Whenever I see it down here, it's never on site viewing. It's sort of always in the peripheral vision.
Right.
And it's a dark shadow figure. I call it shadow figure. But I've never been touched. That's the first time I ever felt anything. And that was in the pump room.
Okay.
Question, is it going to hurt if you shut that off for a while tonight? Because I do want to set up...
Save me some electricity. Well, this is obviously the pump room, which I'll turn that pump off. But there's a bathroom down here as well. Just around the corner here, this is what we call the locker room. If you read the book, Herb offered a shower to one of the guys. That's the shower. This room's not finished. If you want to go outside, it's probably best to kind of go through there. Because the woods are probably going to be muddy. But that's open. It'd be best to come and go through that door. This room was gutted when we got here. Matter of fact, the whole basement was gutted because there was a flood and they took out anything wood. The story kind of goes that the guy that got away said Herb had videotaped a lot of this stuff. And the police told me that there was potentially the video camera was in that vent because there was a couch here. And anyway, the videotapes have never turned up. All his videotapes were gone once the police got here. His wife said he must have taken him with him. But he probably, I think he killed him in this room and just took him out the back.
Because that'd be to that tree right out there. You said.
Well, now initially he was not putting them out this way. He, when he first started this, he was putting them over in a mulch pile over on the west side of the property. But as time went by, he was getting away with it, and this is sort of a pattern these guys fall into. They get really comfortable with what's going on, and they'll start dumping them closer and closer to the house, to the point where he literally dumped one just to the right of that tree.
So it's basically like you're saying, profile them. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, they think they can get away with it, so they start leaving it closer and closer.
Well, he did. He got away with it probably from 1980 to 96, and it was.
We just know of these, and we don't know how many of these there were.
Well, not for sure. I mean, there was 11 here for sure.
Yeah.
That's the number.
But it could have been more. I mean,
the anthropologist told me just because of the sheer number of bones that it's probably more like 17, 19, something like that. We just don't know. There's just too many bones. Not enough people coming forward to DNA tests. So you just don't know how many there are. But he knows there's at least 11. He said because I found 11 left thumb bones.
Yeah.
So he knows there's at least 11 left.
I thought it sounded
So,
because what we were doing was he was listening.
So he got away with this for a long time, and really he would have gotten away with it for
probably even more.
But his life was kind of falling apart.
But I mean, it could be 11.
Yeah. From what I've read and what I saw in the movie, the police officer was saying, or the ex-police officer was saying how he, was losing money at his business, and it was just snowballing.
Yeah, and then he let this one guy leave.
Yeah.
And eventually, that's the guy that brought him here. Because even after they found the bones here, the police and the prosecutor up here didn't want to believe it was happening here. Matter of fact, they went up and got his son up at the lake where he was,
Lake Wallace,
and didn't ask him one question about it. So
What's his son's name?
Eric.
We heard a name. It was Eric up in one
came
of
across the last time.
rooms in the apartment, and so I just thought it was interesting.
Eric was his son. And Eric lived up there for a while. I know.
His son did.
But his son's still alive.
Yeah.
As far as I know. That sink is not turned on. There's no plumbing there, so please don't put anything down the sink there. I'll show you the upstairs.
Yeah.
And then Joe showed up.
This is the apartment. This is what we call the apartment. This is where Joe lived. That does go to the outside. Just if you go out that way, just be very careful. The steps are very steep, and they might be slippery because of the rain. But this is the knocker that if you saw any of the TV shows, knocks on his own. Still doing it even today. Well, not today, but recent times. Herb's hairdresser.
I believe I just caught an orb. I don't think it was a bug because I looked and I didn't see no bug, but I just caught an orb.
Yeah. Well,
You just let him in?
The Ghost Adventure people caught something up here. I don't know. There's no evidence he killed anyone up here, but maybe he did.
Did you say last time that he partied here, though?
Yeah, his hairdresser came out for one of the shows, and Herb was always asking him to come up and party, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
But it was up here.
Okay.
Now, when he was divorcing his wife, he moved into here to get away from her, I guess.
Have some fun.
So he stayed. he stayed up here. This was sort of his area.
Okay.
But,
Nice little setup, though.
Yeah. Especially for his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
18-year-old likes it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He did, wake me up. I mean, it's been 6 months now, and about 1:30 in the morning, and telling me there's somebody knocking on the door. And of course, there's never anyone here.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway. Any questions about anything thus far? Are you a late night group? Kind of stern talking to.
Uh-oh.
That's where the door swung open.
Right. I was seeing if it was still a mark.
I think the last time you could tell there's a mark.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
The paint. It's been painted, but yeah, there we go.
Some indentation.
Now I can see a lot better since I turned my light off.
It was also weird, right?
I didn't ask him this, but where I got something last time was actually in the closet, which if you go through this door, and there's like a little kitchen area, and then you go straight through, there's a closet back there, and that's where I got the name Eric.
Well, this could be an interesting night, everyone.
Yes.
You know that they have it locked now.
How do they? Looky there.
This is I think it's his wife's stuff, so
I'm just gonna
I don't
get
think they want us
a little bit
messing
of
with it.
footage of it.
You wanna go outside? Sure.
Oops. This is one beautiful home.